Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Glades live fan chat and Q&A. I'm Kevin Campbell. Tonight, we are joined by the show stars, Kiele, Sanchez, and Matt Passmore. Thank you guys so much for being here.
It's our pleasure.
Yeah.
We're paid to do it.
I'm glad you guys made it. If there were 2 empty chairs here, that would be really boring.
Kind of boring,
for me. And I can't fake an Australian accent.
So there would have been more personality there, but you got us.
Yeah.
I'll settle for it, and I think the fans definitely will as well. For the next 30 minutes, fans are going to get a chance to ask you guys questions. These questions are going directly to Kiele and Matt. Questions about the sexy and surprising season finale, what happens behind the scenes, and a whole lot more. But first, this is a spoiler alert to our fans out there on the West Coast. If you don't want to hear what happened on tonight's finale, then make sure to join us after it airs in your area when, guys, we will do all this over again live at 10 p.m.
Oh, can't wait.
Yeah.
So, guys, first off,
bring it.
Yeah, bring it.
Easy. I don't want to have to separate you guys this early into the show here. So first off, to both of you, congratulations on an amazing finale tonight. Now, I'm sure every Sunday you guys probably get together and have a Glades party and watch your own show, I would imagine.
Yes. Matt usually does it topless.
Really?
Sometimes with a phone call, you suck. It's, you know.
Really? So you guys are in the same place on the phone with each other. He's topless, and you guys are just was back and forth.
We have personal assistants that talk to each other.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, because as we found out on the show, you know, friction was good. We decided.
Right.
In fact, where's my PA? I'm talking about too.
I know, this is weird.
Yeah, well, the problem was our stage wasn't big enough. I know usually you have to talk through people to each other, but we're at a time crunch. The fans have questions. We couldn't get them in.
Yes.
So
Let's
can
do
I
it.
ask you guys, how was it not only watching your show tonight, but interacting with your fans while you were watching it?
It was insane for me. I had no idea we had that many fans.
It was fair. And look, to everyone, there were so many compliments coming through. Thank you so
really
much.
Sweet. Truly.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for everyone coming on the chat site. Yes, we all became master readers tonight. And our internet's seized up at the end.
Yeah. So that's why we weren't there.
If we vanished, that's why.
Yes.
Any questions off limits that fans were asking you, or are you guys just fielding everything?
No, open book.
Open book.
Clear as glad wrap.
That's going to make my job easier, I think.
Yes. Matt and I are both married to people from the chat room.
Wait, you're married to 2 people from the chat room?
Different people. I mean, I hope they're different people.
I mean, it'd go before I could get the phone number, but, you know.
Yeah.
Can I ask, how
betrothed.
does one propose to somebody in a chat room? I would imagine not a lot of courting, maybe some smiley faces, some icons.
No, it's straight out there. Will you marry me?
I knew they meant it when there was a lol.
Wow.
LOL.
Okay. All right. Well, guys.
Had me at lol.
Somebody did say once that there are no coincidences, but I do want to ask you guys, in the episode that we just saw, the key suspect on the show fakes a live chat, correct? And then Jim's great detective skills catch him in a lie. Now we're in our own fan chat. It's getting complicated, but guys, any coincidence here?
Reality is blurring.
Yeah.
A&E masterminds here. This is all a big part of, what is the word? Symbiosis.
Good word.
I'm not sure that we even need a word when you do this with your hands.
When you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was. I think that said it all right there,
Right?
Kiele. So, guys, the fans out there, finally, they've been waiting all season for your characters to finally hook up, and it happened in this finale. It was emotional, it was sexy, it was a bit steamy. What was it like shooting that scene, and then, more importantly, what was it like sitting together watching that scene?
Well, there were a lot of Altoids involved in
There
the
were.
scene,
There
and
were.
I remember we shot that from many angles, many different ways, and we
did
workshopped
that-
it.
Yeah, we did that workshop.
Yeah, so you know what? It was a work in progress, and
That progress just kept going and going.
Matt just
Over,
kept screwing up lines as an accident.
And I was like,
talk
there's no
about endurance.
lines in here.
Matt just kept adding lines.
kept losing lines for some reason. I didn't know why.
Yeah, but it was those scenes are always really hard, but doing it with Matt, and I don't mean doing it with Matt, but I mean doing it with Matt is a saving grace because he's kind of awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. See,
Look
she
at
said.
This is just
Told ya.
This is just a love affair. I was hoping it'd be more explosive, but it's a love affair up here.
Just wait,
Okay,
Kevin.
no, it's
all right.
boring,
Just
isn't
wait.
it?
Sorry.
We actually do like
Sorry.
each
We'll see if
other,
we can
so-
spice it up a little bit. And maybe one of our fans will spice it up. I've got our first fan question coming in here. And this question is from Matt. And this is from Mary Eve.
Hi, Mary.
She wants to know, your real girlfriend was in the episode that we just saw. What was it like to work with your real girlfriend with your TV girlfriend. It was like a girlfriend's worlds colliding.
I
right
know,
there.
and I guess I know on the outside it looked like I was in heaven. But I mean, it's great. Rach and I have worked together on shows before, and Kiele's incredibly professional. So while Rach was around, she just had to hold back that, you know, as we see, that urges and stuff. So, you know, I think we danced around it quite well.
Well, also Rachel is like, and Rachel and I get along very, very well, and I have like a girl crush on her. So
I think you guys like each other more than me.
Well, I didn't want to say
Matt,
that.
can we have-
No, it is. There's something. You know, I might be left. I might be the one left hanging.
I
here.
don't know. I feel like there's a spin-off, you know what I mean? With Rachel
a
and my
Cagney and Lacey there
character.
somewhere.
Yeah.
A&E might be listening right now. Who knows? Maybe they're
not
gonna
listening,
greenlight that.
please.
No. Where? All right, so guys, we actually asked the fans out there what their favorite episode of the season was. A lot of the fans came back and said The Perfect Storm and Honey were two of their favorite ones. I want to start with you, Kiele. What was your favorite episode that you shot during the season, and why?
Me and Matt are going to say the same one. I am going to say The Perfect Storm.
Yes. Of course.
It was just a blast to shoot. I think that Tim Hunter, who directed it, was so much fun on set, and there was a lot of it kind of the storylines were sort of mimicking the hurricane that was sort of brewing, and I thought that was sort of genius the way that they did that. My second favorite.
We can have you do 12 favorites. So you can just
Yeah.
rank the episode.
And then my third
We've
favorite.
got all night. Don't worry about
Yeah.
it, Keels. We'll just.
Matt, you and I can kick back and let Kiele rank her episodes.
Yeah, one camera, go for it.
My favorite is favoriteest.
You would agree with that then, Matt, I guess, episode-wise?
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
want to speak for him. Sorry.
No.
I'm just going to direct all your
Thank
questions
you.
to Kiele. Kiele will just guess what you're going to answer for these.
To her PA, then to
Exactly.
we're good. Yeah, Perfect Storm. I thought had the great. We had a great side storylines happening with Carlos and Daniel, which were hilarious and moving. And then I was given a lot of leeway within, which was so absurd within a hurricane to be at a high school reunion.
Yeah.
To go wherever I wanted to go with it, and yeah, I just thought it was the perfect combination. But then my second one, and it was so Florida as well, and that's what I liked. The second one I liked was Mucked Up.
That's
which
what
is
I was
why-
going to say. That was
Yeah.
going to be my
Yeah,
favorite.
but I
Stole
said
it. He stole it.
Said
He
it.
owns that as his favorite
You
one. I'm
can't.
sorry.
We both had Perfect Storm. You got to choose another one.
Yeah.
I got Mucked Up.
Mocked up.
Deal. I
Yeah,
think
it
you
was
guys
good.
can
It was
work
perfect
this
Florida
out.
stories. You know, there's nothing like Okeechobee or you know all these NFL players coming from this one place. It was just so Florida.
Well, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we have another fan question coming in.
Okay.
And this is for you both. This is from Sarah. She wants to know, what are your characters' best and worst traits, and if you think you share some similarities with your characters? Not everybody at once here. Not everybody at once.
You want to go?
I would say that Callie's worst characteristic would probably be indecisiveness, which I also share.
She's
being
dealing with a
able
lot,
to-
though, to be fair.
Thank you.
She's dealing with a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, if I had $1 for every time we had the, dating an inmate, like somebody else deal, working on single
I mean,
mom.
it's an old story, isn't it?
I'm tired of every single show running with this storyline.
Yeah.
So she is dealing with a lot, but you think
dealing
she's a
with
little
a
more
lot.
indecisive than maybe she should be?
No, I think that she's trying to be thoughtful and trying to please a lot of people, and her heart is telling her or directing her in one way, and so it is really complicated. But for such a strong woman, I think that probably is her weakness, is maybe people pleasing or
Okay.
yeah.
And you just bring the sexy thing to yeah.
Can we agree that you
Was
obviously?
that Callie's
Yeah.
best characteristic?
I'm just saying. I think there's a few other people out there saying the same thing.
I think the sexy thing you would share with your character. I think you can agree
think,
with that.
yeah.
Come on.
I don't
Matt
even
and I
know how to
outvote you.
speak to
Yeah.
this.
2-1. 2-1. I'm sorry.
And both PAs with their hand up too.
Exactly.
4-1.
Yeah. Matt, how about you for Jim?
I think everything about Jim that's kind of charming and that is personable. I think that I truly brought that to the character. I think the
very humble.
The writers,
very humble.
I
Isn't
can't
he a
go with
gem?
that. Aussie sarcasm just doesn't work. No, I think he's a very selfish guy, and often his sense of humor offends people. I think we're very similar in that regard. But at the same time, I think with the indecisive thing comes the same, and I think that's what happens with the whole Callie thing, is that when he's always on the front foot. He's always the smartest guy in the room. He's always in control of everything. Goes through people's places, rips into their stuff, and offends everyone. Then with the girl, he's lost. He has no clue whatsoever. I think he and I have that very much in common.
Both of you share some indecisiveness. I would love to see you guys like trying to decide on food there on set, like what you're going to order, back and forth. Do you feel like you're also, Matt is as indecisive as you feel like Jim is?
I would say more so hopeless with women.
Hopeless.
Yeah. In that
I'm sure
way,
some fans out there will have
No, I mean like.
Sure.
Like.
Callie, you think that he's way off base with that?
Yeah, I mean, that's not.
Really?
I mean, yeah, like what you're doing right
sweet.
now, like I'm so hopeless with girls, and then it's like, come on, no, you're not. That's smart. That is good. Good job. Good work.
It is. I mean, this is almost like a therapy. I feel like Dr. Phil up here, trying to work these issues out with you guys to make sure season 2 runs smooth for the fans here. I'm calling you Callie and Keele, and
I know. I answered all.
We're just all over the place here. But I do want to get some fan questions. We've got a question coming in from John,
awesome.
And he is asking, have you guys ever been shocked by some of the cases or by some of the victims that you've seen while shooting the Glades?
Well, actually, what the writers came up with on the show was nothing near what the war stories you kind of heard from the LA detectives and coroners down there. There were a couple of stories that if we'd actually put that in the show, one would be taken off air straight away, and two people would go, no way. No way
Don't believe
in the world that could happen, but it does. So, yeah, I mean, and so the case has always had, a spin, and you hopefully never really knew where it was going to go. There was red herrings and where it went, but real life stuff that happens in Florida is nuts. It's
Any
out
of those
this world.
stories stand out to share some of those?
I can't say them.
You can't say
them?
them?
No, literally cannot say them.
Even on a web chat?
They're pretty appalling. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Trust me.
But you'll
Okay.
tell me later.
Yeah.
I believe you. I believe you. Now, we have another interesting question. This is coming in from Kevin. Not me. I'm not third-personing right now. This is a different Kevin, a Kevin out there. And he wants to know, and Matt, this is also for you, do you do your own stunts? I mean, you're dodging gators, you're playing golf, you're playing with a gun, all in a day's work. Is that really you out there? Do you do your own stunts on the show?
Much to the executive producer's dismay, I tried to do as much as I could. Obviously, there's not much action in the show, really. Jim doesn't shoot anyone. He waits till they shoot themselves, so they stop talking. But a couple little things I tried to get in there. It was only 2 cars that I scratched a bit. Hey.
Oh, really?
No one wants to drive with him. Carlos is terrified to
Carlos
drive
is a big
with him.
But, well, and can I just say, there were little scratches. I did maybe once or twice try a couple of things and had a lot of people run up going,
Yeah.
we don't have insurance. So, look, I try to do as much as I can.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I like it, and I guess stunts for you. Are you doing anything there that you any high risk maneuvers there? I guess just riding with Matt could be called a stunt.
Yeah.
Actually, we all know you got a wicked right hook.
Really?
From that episode.
Do you like that?
Even I thought you connected with, and you threw her around like a rag doll.
Yeah, I know.
I am not stealing your craft next time.
No, you shouldn't. Yeah, that was the most stunts that I got to do, and it was fun on this show at least. I've done some stunts before, but yeah, I mean it's cool to say afterwards that you do your own stunts, and then like during you're like bruises all down your legs. You're like, really? Why? I should just put my ego aside. And
well, Matt's worried about dodging gators and doing his own stunts. You, on the other hand, have to worry about all this complicated medical jargon because your character's a nurse on the show.
I know.
How do you get that down to deliver it so seamlessly and make people believe you've been a nurse for all these years?
My mom's gonna love this. She's a nurse. She really wants to be a consultant on the show. She keeps trying to get me to pitch her to be the consultant on the show. I call her up with a lot of things, and especially pronunciation of words, because I'll get the script and then be like,
No idea.
no, no. So we also have a medic who's amazing, Lisa, who gives us a lot of the how to say the words and stuff like
Well,
that.
you pull it off very well. So.
Thank you.
Not a problem. And fans, we're halfway through our first live fan chat and Q&A right now with the Glade stars, Kiele Sanchez and Matt Passmore. And if you're just tuning in, Matt and Kiele are answering all of your fan questions and doing a very fine job. Let me just add that right
you,
there.
Kevin.
That's not a
Thank
problem.
you. That's
He
not
said that on
appreciated,
his
mate.
own.
Yep, not
You did
scripted.
not-
Yeah.
No
That's
telly link.
not-
That part
It's not
wasn't in the
there?
prompter. That
No.
was just for you guys.
No.
I'm
It's
trying to
from the
pump you
heart.
guys
Thank
up
you,
a
mate.
little bit.
Appreciate it.
Now, fans are wondering, do you guys have any interesting hobbies? Or fun hobbies, interesting hobbies?
I play European board games.
So not American.
You said
That's-
interesting hobbies.
Then no.
Are you serious? European board games.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if anybody out there.
What is
people
a
are saying,
European
what is
board
that?
game?
Yeah, people are googling
It's
that right
just-
now.
Like
It's
Monopoly
just-
just with the European names? Or?
No, they're actually much more intense than Monopoly. That's a joke in the European board gaming community. Anyway, but they're European board games, which is sort of an art form. I'm going to sound like such a nerd.
Is this like Dungeons and Dragons just in Finnish?
No!
Is it Dungeons and Dragons, but you got to pronounce it differently? Maybe.
Dungeons
It's just got a
and
little.
Dragons.
Yeah, that's just
Instead of
what it is.
Aragorn, you're Oddberg.
Oh, look who knows their Dungeons
Hey,
and Dragons.
Yeah. Oh, look at this.
Ha! Little D&D wizard.
So what is a European board game?
It's just a board game that they make like over in Europe, and
Is this the one we're talking about? Or like,
Yeah.
there's a bunch.
A
No,
group?
there's a bunch, and there's people who like get together at convention centers and play them and teach you the rules because they're very complex and you need a lot of strategy, and I win them a lot.
And you seem to know a lot about it. We could do an entire show on European board games.
I
might do my own show on that, and I'll have you back on that.
Thanks, Kevin.
I got to get over to Matt here as well. A lot of viewers did not know you were from Australia because you pull the accent off so well. Jane here wonders, what is the hardest word to say with the American accent?
I wouldn't say there's any one word that's hard, Jane. It's more so when you put a whole bunch of words together that the vowels might
I mean
be
a
very
sentence is what you're talking about. I think that's what he's referring to.
like a collection of very difficult same sounding vowels or consonants all together. And sometimes something that would have been so easy to say in Australian, all of a sudden I start going ass over bum in my mouth, and before I know it, I've got like a granny knot in my tongue. And
Yeah.
you've heard many of
See
them.
these terms.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're, you know what I mean? A granny
I wish
knot
I
in my
knew.
tongue.
I've got to have somebody in my ear here just trying to tell me what he's saying
Right,
sometimes.
I
don't
know. It's like an interpreter.
I don't know.
I know.
I
It's
really
like a
need
European board game. Who
Yeah,
knows?
but I should also say as well, and this is going to put you on the spot, Kiele, with some of his phrases, but I do hear that you do an impression of your co-star, Jim Passmore. I would be remiss if I didn't at least, and the fans, I'm sure,
Go
Matt
for it, Keels.
Passmore, you gotta show off the impression right here.
Whack it out.
You work it out.
Is this just like mirror right there? You guys are doing? Are you just mirroring everything Matt's doing?
That was dead on.
Does he have any
That
things he
was
says a
dead
lot
on.
on set? Does he have his?
Oh, he says, well, where's my hair and makeup? I need a bit of a poof around my face. And I need someone to wipe my bum
Really?
after I go to the toilet or the loo. He
Yeah.
goes back and forth between toilet and loo. And
Who's got that job? That's not
it's not a good job. He's asked me to do it
really.
a couple of times. I said, F no.
No.
There's no way.
No, thank you for
No
editing
funny
yourself
way.
here as well.
I did. I was so
funny,
close.
No funny way at all.
Yeah. Now, it's only fair. It's only fair. Kiele has imitated you. It's only fair, Matt, if I give you a chance to do your best Kiele impression as well.
Oh. Well, you know, if I really tried hard to talk like her, I don't know. I think I don't know. How was that?
That was awful. That was like a generic girl.
That's
Maybe
you.
you got that I talk slowly sometimes.
Your mum just
but-
switched on and just went, oh my God, Keely's talking. No,
Well,
it was
there's
Matt.
2 Kiele's. Oh.
So guys, on to some more. Not to interrupt the relationship drama right here, but
This is what happens on set.
I know,
It just
I
gets
can tell.
nasty. Where's our PAs?
I'm going to go to some more questions here from the fans here, and this one is from Bridget. And she read, Matt, somewhere before the show started, you tagged along with some police officers to get an idea for Jim's character. How much easier did doing that make for playing the role?
It's to just jump in there and play a guy who's been a homicide detective for however long. It's impossible because straight away when I read the script, you could tell that Jim had this, whether it's a mask or whatever, that a lot of detectives get is this kind of a light way of dealing with something that's horribly dark. I can't do that. So I got together with a few detectives, and a couple of detectives down in Florida were very open with their time and that sort of thing. So to get a bit of an idea as to how they dealt with it all. There's a dead body on a slab right there. They're still they have a great sense of justice. They believe homicide is one of the most, profound things that a cop can do. And then at the same time, they got to go home. So they end up getting this kind of buffer in between them, and they can talk about Larry, the guy on the slab there.
Yeah.
And they just have this way of being able to deal with it. And so that was great to learn from them.
And you play a detective, and then you're doing the ride-alongs. Ever been tempted to, all of a sudden you're out, like Matt Passmore is all of a sudden out somewhere, and you're thinking, maybe I should citizens arrest this guy. Maybe I should bust out my badge from the show and put it to good use.
I'm no Steven Seagal.
No?
No, I don't think I'd ever do that.
No fans have ever run over to you and say, Matt, come over here.
Yeah,
we need
guy
some
just
help
took
here.
my wallet. I mean, like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
exactly.
Where's my PA? Run. No, that doesn't happen.
Who knows? Maybe down the road. Now, Kiele, for you, your character just had an emotional scene with Carlos, where your character rambles out loud about the struggles of dating, raising a son as a single parent, and divorcing her incarcerated husband. Can you talk about shooting that scene?
That scene was actually really hard to do. It was the last scene of the season. So everybody was on set.
It's like 2 o'clock in the morning or something?
Yeah, 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, me and Carlos were just fried. And we had to, do things that made it look like we were doing some forensics, an autopsy. So and also make it sound like I'm having this sort of outburst and make that real. And I couldn't remember my lines. I would say things that weren't in the script, and I was going rogue completely, but only to try to maybe get something, tap into something that the scene was actually about. So it was actually really difficult.
I'm sure it was, yeah. And a lot of scenes are in the hospital. Matt's shadowing police officers. Did you shadow any nurses in preparation for your role?
Well, no, but my mom being a nurse, it's funny that Matt says that buffer. My mom worked in the ER for, I want to say like 12 or 15 years. Was in pediatrics ICU. So she was able to like talk about this really gruesome, stuff if you were to ask her, and people living or dying every, day. And still be able to function as like, my mom and smile and laugh and get on. And there is a disconnect that I also wanted to sort of take in a little bit.
Mm-hmm. We have a question coming in from Gypsy Phoenix, which may be a real name, maybe a made up name.
It sounds super
cool.
real.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It is a cool name if that's the case.
I'll
but
answer
this is a question
from Gypsy. Absolutely.
Unfortunately, maybe Gypsy Phoenix, you got to write back in for one from Matt. But this one is for Kiele.
No worries.
Sorry.
It's
Cup of tea, someone?
Sorry.
Kiele, for
Sorry,
you,
that
if you weren't an actress, what would you be doing?
Unfortunately, I'm not good at anything else.
It's good you made it then.
Yeah, because there was my mom always wanted me to
European
have
board
what?
European board games.
Professional European board.
Can you,
You're
I
being
don't know
hard
if
at that.
it's
An ace.
an ace. That's what I am.
So you would
an
be
ace.
either unemployed or find a way to make money playing European board games.
One of those two
That
things.
is very
yeah.
specific right
Yeah,
there. So
I know.
thank God you made it right here, or you'd be in
Yeah,
trouble.
yeah.
Matt, how about you? Same question to you.
When I got out of the army, I wanted to be a fireman, which sounds like, I want to be an astronaut or a fireman
Yeah.
or an actor.
Those are the three right there.
Yeah,
that most people want to do.
Obviously, so, it was obvious the way I was going to go.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, so guys, why do you think the fans obviously out there, questions are coming in. Fans have really responded to the show. Why do you think the show seems to resonate so much with the fans and that it's become the hit that it has been?
That's hard. That's a hard question. Why do you think?
I'll take this one, shall I?
Yeah.
Well,
Not a
you
lot
just
of choice
spit on
there,
me,
but
so I think
I
you
didn't
can,
realize
you should
that.
really
Yeah.
take it.
Got myself and you. Well, I mean, hopefully, we did have a lot of fun making the show. I mean, it was tough work. The heat was pretty unbearable, and we put a lot of mosquitoes' families through college, and the crew were in the muck day in, day out. Didn't matter if you were at the beach or out there. We were in summer in Florida, so we were cooking. But at the same time, I think we just had a great time. I think
Yeah.
we had a lot of fun, and hopefully, when I watch it, I see that fun kind of coming through.
Yeah.
So I think there's scenes that even I look back, because I haven't seen any of it, so I'd look back and see a scene with me and Carlos, and I'd be laughing out loud as well. Oh, he's such a dag. Awesome dag. Or scenes with us, and I remember the goofing off we'd been doing just before we'd do one of these incredibly intense scenes, and it's actually, I think there's a lot of fun to be had.
Yeah.
It's still and a very dark subject matter, but I think
definitely
that's
shows through.
The whole show is about flipping things on their
Yeah.
on the sides. Florida isn't what you think it is. and
Yeah.
This case isn't what you think it is, and this boy-girl thing is a lot more complicated than you think it is, and so maybe that fun came through.
I think it did. And we have another fan question coming in from Boo Boo Bear.
Another awesome
Mom,
name.
Another awesome
Why do
name.
you keep?
Yeah. Everybody keeps using their real names. I tell you what, for these questions here. But this question is about the crew, about working with the people behind the scenes. What has that experience been like to work with the crew on the Glades?
The crew was, like he said, I mean, they were in the trenches with you. It was like they were working, I mean, 20 times harder than you, and sweating and not eating and passing out. I mean,
Yeah,
our
really?
script
We had crew dropping.
supervisor had to go to the hospital. And we're smiling and laughing and joking the whole time. Like, anytime I would start to get like a little like, oh, I feel like dehydrated and or a little cross, I'd look over and there would be, someone who had been there 14 hours longer than
Someone
me.
who's passed out on the ground.
Yeah,
And then you would feel,
lifting
Yeah.
heavy. Yeah, exactly. So I was, we were blessed in that way. Our crew is outstanding.
Very good. I got another question coming in, and this is for Kiele as well. This is from Sanj4, who wants to know, do you, in fact, speak Spanish?
I don't, Sanj
don't.
4. No, I'm learning right now with Rosetta Stone.
Ah, okay.
So,
plug.
Yeah, right. I'd love to plug them. I mean, those things are expensive.
It is.
You know what I mean? Send a little my way. Yeah, so I'm trying desperately to learn because it's a shame that I don't.
Next time we do this, you're going to have stacks of Rosetta Stone, and she will know every
I know,
language,
yeah.
which could be help your European board playing game or whatever when you play internationally.
It's
I don't know.
all.
So, guys, unfortunately, we have time for one last question, and this comes from Lisa, who says the Glades rock.
Thank
Want me
you,
to pass
Lisa.
that along. The Glades rocks,
Thanks,
and
Lisa.
she can't wait till next season, and she wants to know, what are you two going to do during your time off? Matt?
Sleep.
Yeah. Sleep. Hibernate.
There was a lot of sleep to catch up on, and maybe a little bit of sun surf and fun
Yeah.
in there.
I'm surprised you're still walking around.
I'm actually not. I'm just robotically being governed by someone somewhere.
Yeah.
Are you
No,
gonna
that
be-
was actually during the series.
Are you going to be here in the States for that? Are you going back to Australia?
I'm going to stay here for a while and do all the things you do in LA and stuff, and then I'm going back for Christmas. Come back and then come back to get stuck into the series again.
Season 2,
Yeah.
Kiele, you have one thing
Big
maybe that you're looking forward?
plans?
Yeah.
Well, we are going to the Caribbean.
Curacao.
Curacao.
life.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's really
exactly.
painful.
Here comes the perks.
Yeah, and we're going there to promote the show. The Latin American market bought it, so we're going there to do that, which
Well,
is for me a vacation.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Well, early mornings, early nights.
yeah.
You know, we got to be on our game.
It sounds like you guys have
no
quite-
drinking,
No.
no fun.
Fun? No, we're there to work.
Guys, you
Yeah.
guys have quite a time planned here. Unfortunately, that's a wrap here for the Glades Live fan chat and Q&A. I want to thank everybody, all those fans out there, for your fantastic questions. And thank you, Kiele. Thank you, Matt, for joining us
you,
here in
Kevin.
studio.
Thank you, Kevin.
Not a problem
Thanks,
at
everyone,
all.
for joining in.
And if you didn't get a question in, or if you have more questions for the Stars, then I want you to come back for another live fan chat, and it's going to air on the West Coast at 10 p.m. Pacific. So thank you guys again. Thank you out there, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.